Religion is not there to make you a beta. It's not there to make you violent, to make you a racist, to make you hate people, and to have resentment. It's to make you have deep realizations into the oneness experience. Hey everyone, this is Adam Law once again with a new video from Wanderings. Today's very interesting and controversial topic is called, Does Religion Make You Weak? Religion, spirituality, scripture, these can be the most beautiful parts of the human experience. The story of humankind and its encounter with the divine throughout history and the traditions that come from that are one of the main sources of people's sources of meaning and purpose in their lives, with finding the oneness, the connectivity of the whole universe to make you a better person as far as my relationship with God, with people, and myself. However, sometimes religion can make us weak or even toxic. We use religion in a way to justify our own worst behaviors and thoughts. If you open up a book of scripture, you can find almost anything you want in there. So what is religion when it's done right? And what is religion when it's done wrong? That is what we're going to explore today. Does religion make you weak? Again, if you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment. I always like when you interact with me, and I'd be glad to discuss things with you. You know I'm a psychotherapist, a coach, besides being a content creator. Religion says something. Each religion, each spiritual system is different. But under that, every human is living the human experience, the human condition. I would actually say my whole channel's question and the work that I do with people is really about the human condition, about existence, about what does it mean to be a person. And there are universal human concepts that go beyond any religion or idea. But one of the main qualities of religion, and this is something that Dr. Jordan Peterson speaks about, is that it answers the questions of meaning, the human experiences throughout all millennia. For us just to start again and throw everything away and say we're something new is not connecting us to the best of what humankind has to offer. So religion is a wonderful thing. It can bring joy and family and life, but can also go very wrong. Religion is responsible for hatred, racism, thievery, and even murder. Though I'm not going to go into those heavier topics as much today, I'm going to primarily focus on how we use religion to justify our own weak behavior and even bad behavior sometimes. The first topic I want to bring up is faith. Faith is one of the most important concepts of religion. Studies have shown that faith, the idea of a concept beyond ourselves, a bigger something, can get us through the most insane situations. That is really the topic of one of the most famous books on human existence, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, which I've spoken about many times on this channel. And he says there that if a person has a reason to go on, he can overcome any obstacle. Life is going to still have its ups and downs, but with a reason to go on, that can get you over these obstacles in order to have a greater purpose to go beyond. Because every one of us suffer on an individual day. So faith is great. Faith is wonderful. It gives us longer lives, more meaningful lives. But what about when it makes us weak? What about when a person has too much faith? Here's a great story about a man named Peretz Gabbai. And here's how the story goes. I think you all get the purpose of this story very quickly. It's a Jewish story, but I think it's applicable for people of all faith. There was once a Rebbe named Eliezer of Kamarna, and he had an assistant, someone who helped him out in the synagogue, named Peretz Gabbai. Gabbai being the Hebrew word for assistant of a synagogue. He was a very simple man. He never married, never needed much. He lived in a little room attached to the synagogue, ate bread, salt, whatever was left over from the events at the synagogue. Never got married, never built a family. His whole devotion was to his mentor, the Rebbe. One day, a sophisticated man came up to Peretz Gabbai and asked him, Gabbai, why have you not married? He replied, why should I marry? With this Rebbe, do I lack anything? But the man rejoined him and said, it says in the Torah that a man needs to have offspring, be fruitful and multiply. And what did Peretz Gabbai answer him? Offspring? I will submit a petition to the Rebbe, and I will have children. Now, this charming anecdote, it seems cute, but it actually shows it shows a big weakness with religion. Too much faith in the Rebbe. And here the Rebbe is sort of in place of God. Too much faith leads to inaction, right? If we want to get something in life, we have to move forward with it. Prayer is always supposed to be combined with action. We must act in the world. Another great example is a friend of mine recently. He saw a girl that he was interested in dating. And he kept asking a matchmaker to set him up with her. And the girl kept saying no. The girl kept saying no. And finally, I was speaking to him. And I asked him, I said, why don't you ask her directly? Why don't you just ask her out? And he says, oh, well, that's not the proper way to do things. The matchmaker is the proper way to do things. I said, women like when a guy is confident. They like when someone goes up to them and shows their interest. And lo and behold, he followed my advice, he asked her out, and he went out with her. I used to use this myself in my younger days. Sometimes I would be in Israel and I'd see women around, pretty women I wanted to speak to. And I kept saying to myself, well, this is not the proper way for a young religious man to be. And what I was doing was justifying my own weakness. I was justifying my own shyness and saying, God will work it out. Yes, God will work it out. But God helps those who help themselves. I needed to be the prayer. It says in the Tehillim and the Psalms, Anit tefillah, I am my prayer. I have to act out my prayer. Prayer, while an intrinsic part of the human experience, must be combined with effort. You become the prayer. The prayer is to enlighten you and to give you the energy to go and act in the world. That's what prayer is for. So faith can be something that makes you weak. Faith is necessary. It's the most important aspect of religion, but we can't use faith as an excuse to not act. Right? There are certain sects of Christianity which are called quietist. I was taking a class at the University of Toronto a couple of years ago, and I met a Quaker. I was shocked when he said that if a violent man came to him and his family and said he was going to kill them, this religious man, would let them kill them. And all other people in the class, including other Christians of different denominations, were shocked by him, that they would just let God take care of everything. While prayer and faith is good, how can this person stand there and let his family be murdered? The Torah, the Bible, if you look at it, it says you must fight. And even though I'm sort of making fun of this guy's religious creed, the truth is, in my own religion, Judaism, for the thousands of years when we were in exile, also maintained sort of a position. That the Jewish person is to be weak, he's to be a scholar, he's to be an intellectual. So much to the point where we didn't believe in our physical might ourselves. Nowadays, with the state of Israel, we see that the Jewish people can be an incredible fighting force, a force of power and good in the world. But for thousands of years, the Jew was seen as the Nebuch, as the Shlemiel, as the person who wasn't capable. Religion can be used to make you weak. You need to use religion to make you strong, to make you someone who goes out there and acts in the world. Your faith can propel you to do great things. It shouldn't propel you to not act in the world. Now, obviously, there are times where a person has no choice, but only to have faith. And God sets up those situations accordingly. But if there's any chance of action in the world, you need to act, right? If a doctor has a capability of saving somebody, you also use the doctor and not just prayer. And anyone who says just prayer when there's a possibility of a physical act is getting religion all wrong. Furthermore, on the romantic tip, I remember a few years ago, there was a guy on Facebook who kept asking, he asked these soulful questions. And I see these on these dating forums. Where's my soulmate? How come I haven't found my soulmate? Right? And I got to know the guy a little bit. He didn't have a job. He had mental health conditions. He had things going on. God is capable of anything, but you have to act and get yourself together. Women are biologically, evolutionary built to be attracted to men who have their life together. They can give them security and strength and protection and sustenance. You have to act in the world to make those things happen. If you're an alcoholic, a drug addict, you have no job, you're fat, take care of business first and then expect God to help you. If you have mental health problems, get help. Go to a psychotherapist. Go to a psychiatrist. Take care of your business before you start praying. And use that prayer simultaneously with those acts. And that will solve your problem. If your problem's capable of being solved. Religion is a wide open book. There's anything in there. And therefore, there's always going to be parts of religion which don't make sense for the enlightenment of a person. There's parts in there which say you should kill infidels, murder people, that they're not human. There's racism, there's bigotry, everything found in religion. If religion doesn't make you better, you're doing religion wrong. If you're killing people for blasphemy, if you're killing people, if you're looking to religion to justify your behaviors sexually, when the Torah or other books say these are not appropriate things, you're using religion wrong. Religion has a code. There are things in there for us to learn out of it. But the code, the main thing is this making you a better person? Is this making you a more actualized person? Because the point of religion, the point of spirituality, the purpose of life is to become self-actualized. It's to become enlightened, to become the person you're meant to be. And that is only possible with the utter unification of the one God. There is one God, universal God in the world that is beyond everything and inside of everything. Infinite reality. And we may not always see the good. We may not always see what we want to see in the world. But the ultimate human experience is the unification with the great oneness of God, in whatever name you want to call God. That's the purpose of a life. Religion is there to make you have a better life, a life of faith, of connection, of attaching yourself to the human story of the wise people throughout the ages who have been challenging themselves with understanding the human condition. Religion is not there to make you a beta. It's not there to make you violent, to make you a racist, to make you hate people, and to have resentment. It's to make you have deep realizations into the oneness experience. Thank you very much. This is Adam Mall with Wanderings. Please like, subscribe, etc. I hope to talk to you soon. You can always reach out to me for a consultation for psychotherapy and coaching. Take care.